a basic guide to the door access control system. Starting off with the main board. Main board has power supply input here with positive and negative fittings for 12 volts. We then have the door reader connections for reader 1, reader 2, reader 3 and reader 4. Readers 1 and 2 are associated to door 1. Readers 3 and 4 are associated to door 2. The connections that we have are for each reader. We also have an additional 2 connections here for a door release button. The same is repeated on the other side of the board for door number 2. Each door is attached to a relay which has got common, normally closed and normally open fittings. This is door 1, this is door 2. Next to these is 2 connections for sensing. This is to tell the board if the door is open or closed, if a read sensor is fitted or a door open sensor. Commonly on most mag locks this sensor is fitted but not usually wired up, as indicated on the mag lock itself by a colour changing LED to identify if the door is open or closed. To start wiring this up, attach 12 volt connection. This can be done by pulling on it and gently removing the connector. Attach suitably grade power cable into connector, bearing in mind the reference of 12 volts and ground to the board. Once the power connector has been fitted, simply push and gently reattach back to the circuit board. The next device to be attached will be the card reader or proxy tag reader. Simply remove the connector from the board by gently pulling. Bear reference to on the board it identifies which pin is for what. In this case it is 12 volts, ground, D1, D0 and LED. D1 and D0 are your data connections. LED is to signal the LED on the keypad or proxy reader. In this example, we'll be using the ZOTER reader. There's a quick reference guide on the back of the reader to identify what colour cable is designed to be fitted into what slot. Red is 12 volts, black is ground, green is data 0, white is data 1, grey is for LED and the buzzer. Purple is used to denote which command protocol the reader will use to communicate back to the control board. In our situation, we will use purple connected to ground, which puts it into mode 34. We've now connected the connector to the reader. You'll notice that we have red for 12 volts, black and purple are linked. This is to allow us to enter this into mode 34. We have white for data 1, green for data 0 and grey for LED and buzzer. The grey wire is optional, however is recommended as it gives feedback to the card reader or proxy reader to if the card has been accepted or declined. Otherwise the card reader will just bleep to say that it's acknowledged the read. Simply reconnect, same as before, by carefully pressing the connector into the board until it clicks shut. The board is now ready to be set up and programmed. It can be programmed using just 1 reader or 4 readers depending on the setup. We have a power LED, a system LED which will flash to say that the system is working, an input LED saying that something's been received from one of the card readers, an error LED in case there's a problem, which will just illuminate, a relay 1 and a relay 2 LED corresponding to relay 1 and relay 2. This board is fitted with an RJ45 connection. This is for connecting to the network so you can program or monitor the access control. We're now ready to apply power. Simply plug the power source in our case is 12 volts. You'll immediately see that the LED has come on to signify power is going to the board. The system LED is now flashing. The proxy reader is now ready to receive a tag or a card. The light is red and glowing. Upon presenting a tag, these haven't been programmed in at all, it will read flash green and give an audible tone to tell you if the card has been accepted. In this case, the relays have remained shut because the card is not accepted. You'll see that the LED flashed, indicating that it had received the signal. The next step will be to connect this to the network or to the Wi-Fi hub on a remote site so that you can program this and then leave it in situ. To connect this up to the network for programming purposes or maintenance and monitoring, get an RJ45 connection. Either Cat5 or Cat6 are acceptable. Firmly insert it into the port on the board. You'll immediately notice that the link light will illuminate, followed by the ACT light, signifying that data is now being transferred between the circuit board and the router. It'll do this to assign itself an IP address so that you can program it. The next steps will involve using the computer software and the board in tandem to program in the key fobs. Okay, so now we're going to install the software. Follow the link provided. Double click to start. Follow the basic instructions, access for everybody, and install. You'll then be prompted to allow the installation. And then close. You'll now see a new icon over here labelled Access Control. You can close this window down, double click, and the program will load for the first time. This may take a few minutes. You'll now ask for a username and password. This has also been provided for you. The default is ABC, and the password is 123. You'll then ask for company name, building company registration code. This has also been provided. The registration code for this situation as a trial is 2004. We will fill in these fields with just test. As you can see, if registration has been successful, you can now open the software. Once you've installed the software, click on the Access Control link. This will then open the page. The first time round, it will ask you for your username and password. The username is ABC and the password is 123. The system will then boot up. This is the access control. You can follow the simple quick start guide on the left hand side of the screen by searching for controllers. The controller fan will come with the serial number, which is the same serial number printed on the circuit board. The IP address by default will be 192.168.0.0 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255 and a gateway of 0000. The MAC address is also there. You'll also identify your computer's IP address. This computer is on a test network, so please use the IP address that is most relevant to you. You can go to Configure. We will then be able to change the IP address to something within the range of your network. So by default, this would have been 00. But as I'm using this within the test network, I am required to change this to usable numbers for the network. In this case, 192.168.1.80. I then click OK to confirm the changes. This will take a minute or so, just to confirm. It may come up with not responding. Please be patient. Once it's done so, you can click Add to Database. A notification will come up telling you it's been added. The serial number will then be printed again. We click OK. We can now close the window. We can now go to Configuration, go to Controllers, where we'll see the controller again, assigning itself its two doors. We can then go to Department. We can add a department. For argument's sake, we'll call AAA, Access All Areas. and click Add. That's all you need to do within Department. When it comes down to Personnel, this is where we'll add either people's names assigned to their own proxy key fob or card. We then also have access permissions available for each of these cards or fobs. To make life simple, we go to Auto Add Cards by swiping. We select a department we want to put them into default, which in this case is Access All Areas. We'll then take a key fob, pass it over the scanner, where the reader will then read and populate the table. The numbers will then start to appear in the list as we do so. You're required to do this for every tag. This is bulk adding and will not assign any of these tags to a particular user. There we have 10 tags that have been added. I've got remained 2 tags that haven't been added. You can have a user ID option if required, but as this is a mass add of tags, this is the simplest way. We then click OK. It will then want to confirm that you wish to add 10 tags, which we are, and we click OK. If we now go back to Configuration and go to Controllers, go back to Personnel, we'll now see that all the tags have been added and they have access permissions to the device. They also have attendance, because this can be set up to monitor people coming in and out. This feature isn't commonly used and requires quite a considerably long setup. Here we also have the ability to add usernames, so we can name each tag or assign them to certain people. Should we wish to add a tag for a single person, we can simply click Add, enter an ID, a name, and a card information, along with attaching them to a department. On some of the proxy tags, they do come with their ID numbers stamped into the plastic, so this can be entered here. Alternatively, you'll need to make note of the tag you're swiping and add them one by one. Upon adding cards, we then need to set up privileges and allow. When you go to this page, you'll see all the tags you have swiped along with the username and the card number assigned to it. These simply need to be transferred across using the mass add function, which is the 2 arrows to the right, and select which door you wish them to work on. In most cases, you might have red tags only opening door 1 and blue tags opening door 2. However, we require them to open both doors in this case, so we'll click Add to both. If I lift this window up slightly, at the very bottom of the screen you'll have Prohibit, Prohibit and Upload, Find, Allow, Allow and Upload. In this scenario we're going to click Allow and Upload. It's saying that we're adding 2 doors and 10 contacts to be enabled. We're going to click OK. This has been done successfully. We click OK. We can now close this window. Now if we take one of the good tags, which we know should open the system, go to Operation so we can see what's going on. We'll even open Monitor, and we're going to monitor door 1 as that's the one we're working on. We'll take the good tag and pass it over the reader. We get a good tag identification, a tone change, and the relay opened with the relay light coming on. This will work for any of the 10 tags that we've programmed. So that the light has gone yellow and that we have confirmed access. If we take one of the tags which has not been assigned to the reader, we get an error beep along with a report on screen saying that that card has access denied to open that door. No matter how many times we try, it will keep flagging up on screen an error that that card is not accepted. If you take a good card, it'll immediately open the door. The door will demagnetize or unlock the clasp for a set time. We can now stop monitoring. To adjust door opening and release times, go to Configuration, Controllers, select the controller and double click. It'll ask for the identity number of the controller, the serial number, which should automatically be filled, whether it is in a small network or a large network or connected to the internet. In most situations it will be small network, as once this device has been set up, it will no longer be connected to the network at all. We then click Next. It'll ask if you wish to name the doors, i.e. front door, back door, whether you want them open or closed, or on the controller. You then have the option to increase the delay timer for the door being opened. I recommend upping this from 3 seconds to about 8 to allow ample time if you're using magnetic locks or door strikes. If, however, this is a simple door or an electric door that will be opened, then 3 seconds is adequate. To confirm, click OK. This will then be uploaded to the controller. Then go to Operations, select the doors and click Upload. It'll ask access privileges and basic configuration. Click OK. This will now update the board to the new settings and the new access controls. We can then open Monitor and monitor the doors, and then upon presenting the tag, the door will now remain open for 8 seconds. We'll try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close. That is the basic setup of the door access control system. I hope this helps.